Greetings, my name is Ashleigh, and welcome to Graceful Realities. Graceful Realities is a Christian centric podcast that delves into the multifaceted aspects of living a fulfilling and harmonious life. Join us as we explore the lives of inspiring guests, discovering how faith and a positive mindset shape their journeys, as well as how they successfully balance personal and professional commitments to achieve academic and career success. Whether you're seeking motivation, guidance, or a fresh perspective, join us for engaging conversations every last Thursday of the month. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Adie. He is a software engineer with a BSc in Computer Science and Geographical Information Systems from the University of Fort Hare. Beyond his professional pursuits, he finds joy in creative outlets. Playing the guitar has been a long-standing passion, allowing him to unwind and express himself through music. In addition, he has a keen interest in graphic design, where he merges his technical skills with a touch of artistic creativity. This unique blend of analytical thinking and a love for the arts shapes his approach to problem solving and innovation in the world of software engineering.
For me to say that I had any special methods, techniques, and tactics that I was using, I would be lying. Because the thing is, I would say how I got here was only because of mainly one thing. I had proposed it in my heart that the time I step out of varsity, I want to step out with my degree, not just my degree, but a cum laude.
Hi Adie, how are you doing?
Hello Ash, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you very much for joining me on the very first episode of Graceful Realities.
It's a pleasure, and thank you for having me as well.
Lovely, lovely. So you're currently a software engineer, but I'd like for you to backtrack to where it started. So I believe you graduated with Cum Laude, which is a very, very wonderful accomplishment. But obviously there were some study tips that you had that I'd like for you to share with us so that, we know how those aspiring to also graduate with Cum Laude can implement right now as they're studying as well.
All right, thank you. For me to say that I had any special methods, techniques, and tactics that I was using, I would be lying. Because the thing is, I would say how I got here was only because of mainly one thing. I had proposed it in my heart that the time I step out of varsity, I want to step out with my degree, not just my degree, but a cum laude. So I had proposed it in my heart. Even as I was working out through the period, I had that vision in mind to say I want to come out with a cum laude. So it was just something that I proposed. However, there are some tips that I also used that I can share with you. Maybe it might help someone out there. So to begin with, I'll talk about something very important, which is time management. So with time management, um, I'll talk about it as you have to create realistic schedules and also set realistic goals. So most of the time we come up with time schedules to say, hey, I want to do study for 4 hours, 6 hours. And yeah, you can study for those 6 hours, but then you're tired and the next day you're not able to focus in class because you're tired. That can also happen. And sometimes you say 6 hours, but you end up just studying 20 minutes because 6 hours is a long period, right? So you have to come up with realistic, you have to understand the type of person that you are, how you implement your things, and then you learn from there, how can you create a schedule that works for you? Sometimes a schedule that works for Ash does not work for me. So do not copy someone. Come up with your own personal custom-made schedule. So time management comes, and then also it also comes in prioritizing, like prioritization rather. You also prioritize tasks. Tasks that are urgent, they need to be done urgently. And then there are those little tasks that you know that it won't take you 5 minutes to do them. Do them and get them out of the way than to procrastinate and wait to do them like later on, you see? So that's the first thing. Then the second thing, active learning. If you're doing practical subjects, you also need to be practical with your subjects. For example, if you're coding, you cannot write code on paper and expect it to run. I guess you know that. You have to be practical. Get on your laptop, write the code, get your hands dirty, and mess up, and you'll find out like what was wrong. And there you learn and you understand better, you see. And also engaging with other colleagues, get to share wisdom with them. If there are concepts that you understand that they don't understand, go teach them. Don't be stingy with information. The more you release it, the more it comes back to you, you get. So that's very important. And also, with active learning, come up with techniques that work for you. Others use flashcards, others use diagrams. For me, I prefer diagrams, they make me understand better. Others use mnemonics and all those beautiful things. Come up with those things, 10 little things that help you in your active learning and help you remember things that you're supposed to remember. Then I would also touch on something that most people neglect: rest and relaxing. It's very important. If for me, I would go if I feel overwhelmed, if I feel tired, I'll go grab my guitar, play my guitar. I vent through my strings. I go on, pick up my pencil. You see, those are the things that you could do that would help you in retaining information. Also, sleep. Sleep is very important. It helps you recover the knowledge that you have picked up during the period you're awake. So also resting is very important. Those are some of the tips. I don't know if you want me to share any further.
No, I feel like those tips that you've shared are very effective. And like you mentioned, this is not for other people to take, copy and paste and duplicate, because what works for one person might not work for another person. But for them to just get some inspiration and get some ideas on how they can also apply similar or modify the methods to work for them as well. So I
Yeah,
believe you
just
were
remember that.
very,
Sorry.
yes,
Just remember that the main
uh,
thing you have to purpose it. Let it be your goal, be
yes.
your main target. Then remember why you are in school. Why did you go to school? That's the first thing. If you remember that, then
Yes.
you will not lose your vision along the way. Yeah.
No, I totally agree with you there. So I believe you are very involved in campus ministry, and right now you serve in the house of the Lord with so much joy. How has your faith played a role in your life right now? Well, in the
All right.
future, in the past, in the present now. Yeah.
I would say for me, faith has been a significant part of my life. It has given me a sense of purpose, guidance. It has also made me resilient during times of, when things are not really working good for you. Also, it has also been a place of comfort for me, and also helped the other beautiful thing, it has helped me to learn how to navigate life. You know, um, Learning from the stories of faith you hear in the Bible, stories like David, Solomon, you see how they navigated life through faith. And for me, it has been an inspiration because I look at those, I like, if these men could do this, I can also do this. So I've been using my faith, putting it to work. It has helped me in even things like finding joy when things are tough and you're like, you're losing hope, but with faith, I like how the Bible defined it, that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So if it's a substance of things hoped for, whatever I hope for, it is the evidence of those things. For example, it was faith that was the evidence of my cum laude and my degree, right, in the
Yes,
beginning.
exactly.
It
Yeah.
exist. It was by faith I knew that I was gonna get it. So that's the same thing. Faith works for you for those things that you desire. Some say to it like it's more like a title deed. A title deed is if I own a
Yes.
house, then
Yeah.
I don't go around carrying my house to say I own a
Yeah,
house.
true.
They want to prove that I
Yeah.
own a house. I give them my title deed. So that's like faith for you. It unlocks for you those things that you desire. So it has been a significant part of my life because I've been using it and it has been working for me, even how I make decisions. And also, the other thing about faith, also going to church has also provided me with a
Yes.
supportive family. People you meet at church, they are also an inspiration. If things are not going well, you find a brother, you find a sister that you can talk to. They can also assist you, they can pray with you. And you see, that's how faith has been of a big impact in my life. And I would also say that. Um, Oh, actually, I actually mentioned it that it will help me find joy even in times when things are not right.
Difficulties.
You
Yeah.
still find this joy and inner peace because of the faith that you'll be having.
No, that is very lovely. You mentioned something about, going to church, which is something that you have to purpose in your heart. You have to make time to go to church. So how do you find that time, or like, how do you find that balance between, your personal life and also your professional life? Because you still have to go to work, but you also want to be an active member of the church, also serve in the house of the Lord. So how do you find that balance between the personal and professional life?
All right. So they say that sacrifice is easy when love is involved, right? Meaning to say, if you have passion and if you're passionate about what you are doing and you love it, then sacrificing becomes easy. Truth to be told, it's not easy to balance all these things because in a day you only have 24 hours. So then you have to then work at your time and see how you can play around it. So sometimes like I had a conversation with someone some other time, they were telling me about like dividing your day into, it's 24 hours. If you divide it into 8-hour segments, you have like three parts of your day, then you allocate that. So that's a strategy that I also kind of adopted into trying in balancing professional life, my personal life, even my Christian life as well. So you sit down, you see, okay, how can you distribute time? So there are other like things that I can say as to pointers on how to do your thing. So number one is time management is very crucial. I mentioned it before when I was talking about to where I am today. And then, so now I'm talking about it from a part of a professional life, church life, and everything. So get your time management right. Know your tasks. Know when are they due. Get them organized. Okay, I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do this. Don't just let your day, like in the morning, you wake up and you just go on as the day flows. No, have your day planned. I'm going to do A, B, C, D from this window to that window. So you get to know when you now start to eat into the time of doing something. You get to know, oh, now I'm eating into the time of reading. You see, then you see what is it causing? Is it worth it for you to eat into that time, or you should leave whatever you're doing and get into studying? You see, those are some of the things. So there is something like I would call it time blocking. So with time blocking is you have to allocate specific windows for specific things. And if you do time blocking, now what you're doing is you're saying this time I've set it apart for my study. Why are you on your phone when it's time for your study? Switch off your phone, put it away, remove distractions, right? Block
Yeah.
everything. Then if it's time for
Mm,
family, it's so said these days that if we're sitting on a dinner table with our family, we're on our phones. But it's time for us to bond
mm.
with our
It's the
families.
norm now.
So block your phone. It's time for the family. Remove your phone. And if it's time for you to do your social media, then do your social media, you see. Then also the
Yeah,
other
now the
important,
phone can come out.
yeah, it can now come out because that's his time, you see. So the other thing now is also about communication at work. Communicate with those that you're working for, your supervisors. Let them know you have encountered ABC so that when they look for their work, when you give explanation, it's not like you're giving excuses, but rather you're telling them, giving them an update of what you were supposed to have delivered and maybe you failed to deliver on that. And then like I said, also prioritization. Learn to prioritize stuff. Sometimes we end up prioritizing things that are not important because we don't have our things scheduled. So also learn how to prioritize. If you have stuff that is urgent, don't wait until it's last minute to do it. Just do it and get over it. If you have a window to do it, get to do it and get done with it. And then you find out it's gonna be easy. Remember, sacrifice is easy when love is involved. So you also learn to sacrifice for the things that you love, things that you're passionate about, and your passion will drive you to get there. You see? So those are some of
Yes,
the
that makes sense. No, that's
yeah.
such a beautiful statement. Hey, it's a very beautiful and true statement. There's something that you mentioned when you say that, you need to prioritize and, make time for the things that you want. So, are there specific habits that you have implemented that help you to, accomplish these specific goals? Are there like any specific habits that you say, okay, fine, without fail, these are the things that I'll do daily? And you seem to have a very positive mindset towards like your life, your work, and also church. So what are some of the daily habits that you have implemented so that you can remain consistent with that positive mindset towards the various aspects of your life?
Actually, thank you, thank you for saying a positive mindset. So that's where it all starts, maintaining a positive mindset. So if if you start by feeling defeated before you even start the thing, you're already defeated by the time you're done. So you see the reason why some people fail. It's not because they are failures, but because they already feel. I'll give you a practical example of me. I used to do this when I was writing. Maths used to deal with me when I was in school, and
All
I
of
knew
us.
when I write a test, yeah, maths is not friendly, eh? But yeah, when I write a maths test and I feel my heart pounding the moment I'm starting to write the test, I was certain that I was gonna fail. Before I even finished the test, I would know that I'm going to
That's
fail.
concerning.
And it was something that I knew, until a point I
Mm,
realized it. Oh, every time my heart pounds, I know that I'm gonna fail this test. So I started
okay.
like developing that to deal away with the fear. Because sometimes the mistake
Okay.
that I would make in that test are not because I don't know. It's because I was panicking.
Yeah.
So panic is not good. So now you're panicking, you're all over the place, you don't get things to done. You see, but before I divert from what I'm talking about, maintaining a positive mindset, here's what it does: it builds your confidence.
Yeah,
Your
that's true.
self-esteem is already built by the moment you start, so you are positive even if it gets, I always correct people. This is, oh, of course, my philosophy. When
Yes.
someone says, I'm gonna try, I would say to them, no, don't try, just do it. Because if you
Okay.
try, in trying, you can fail and give up. But if you just do it, you know that you're in for it and you are in to do it, regardless of the outcome.
Yes. Yeah,
So
fully.
you,
Yeah.
so if you cultivate that positive mindset before you start, it's gonna help you, because when you start, you ask yourself, so why did I start? Why am I doing this thing? Then you realize you have a target, you have a goal that you have to meet. So if you
Yes.
give up, who's gonna come and do? Nobody's coming to do it for you.
Yeah,
It's you who has
that's
to
true.
do it, right? So
You're the
you
only one.
create. Yeah, you're the only one. So you have to create a positive mindset and be mindful of the things that you're doing. Dedicate time to center yourself, on focusing on the present moment. Sometimes we rob ourselves by thinking about what happened yesterday, and in stressing of what we could not do yesterday, we are eating into this. Remember one thing, right now it's like 9 minutes to 5. This is the only instance of 9 minutes to 5 of the 4th of February 2024. There's not going to be another
Yes.
instance. So if you
Yeah.
allow yesterday thoughts to chow your today's time, then you're going to have a problem, because tomorrow you also be in the same position. Get to
Yeah.
enjoy today. Enjoy this instant. Be positive. Don't stop thinking much about the future, because if you also think about the future, what are you going to think about when the future arrives? So live in the moment. Do what you have to do today, so that you
Yeah.
don't get to eat your time tomorrow. So it is
Yeah.
what you do today that will change tomorrow. Listen,
Yes.
one thing, you cannot change yesterday. You can definitely not change yesterday, but you can do something today that can change tomorrow. So if you want to change tomorrow, then do something today that will help your tomorrow to be the tomorrow you
To be
desire.
better.
Your tomorrow is
Yeah.
made in the now, but it's you living the instance now, not worrying about what is there tomorrow. Then, of course,
Okay.
I talk about setting realistic goals. It also comes into play. If you want to have positive mindset, also positive affirmations. Remember,
Affirmations. Oh, yes, yes.
words have got power. What you say, you become. So, if you read the Bible, Proverbs, it says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue," which means whatever you say comes from, if it proceeds from your tongue, then it has power of death and life. So what are you speaking into the activities you're doing today? Are you speaking life? Are you speaking defeat? It's very easy to speak defeat. Hey, kunzima chomi, things are difficult. Yes, yeah, Goa and all those fancy, well, they call, okay, fancy statements. They feel like they're fancy, but they are not. You see, people get to say those, and it becomes a norm, but then you're actually making your life difficult. You find out after saying those negative confirmations, your mind is crammed with this negativity, and things, they just get to be what you're saying. You see things are now difficult, and then you ask yourself, why did they get difficult? It's because of what you've been saying. So also maintain a positive confirmation and affirmation. And thank you actually for Smart is Cool. It actually helps us with these things: positive mindset, positive affirmations. Thank you so much for such a beautiful platform that we can also get positive things to help us mold our tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes, that's very true. That's wonderful. So you mentioned earlier that you would, during your breaks when you were studying, you would play your guitar. So you seem to be a very multi-talented person. So how is it that you are able to, excel at all the various aspects of your life? We're talking music, we're talking with your software engineering, with your graphic design. There's just so many things that you have going on. How are you able to manage all of them and also make sure that you're excelling at them as well?
All right, let me start with graphic designing and music. For me, these are
Yes.
my hobbies and these are my
Okay.
outlets for my creativity, right? I ensure that I dedicate time and again here because what it does, it helps me, especially when, let's say, work is pressing, it helps me to relax my mind. If I just pick up my guitar, pluck a few strings, get to hear the rhythms, it actually helps me
Yeah.
relax. And even graphics designing, playing around with my creativity, it also relaxes me. So, um, to answer your question again, you say, how do I get to excel in
Yeah.
these things? I would say
Yeah.
mainly this is driven by passion. It's something
Okay.
that I enjoy doing. So when I do them, I don't even see time passing. I just get to
Yeah,
do
it's
this thing.
just
Oh, time is gone now because it's something I enjoy doing. So I would say the main thing is passion, and then also for the fact that I get to do things that I enjoy, like things that I love. They don't seem to be a burden. Like, why would you choose a hobby that is something that you don't enjoy?
you don't like.
Of
Yeah,
course, you're not
no,
going to do
that would
well
be
into it.
questionable.
The same thing
Yeah.
with career. You're not gonna do well in it because every time you feel pressured, you feel bothered to do all these things. So I would say passion, number one. It's the thing that will drive you. It's the driving force. It's very important to develop love with what you do. Remember, like I mentioned earlier on, sacrifice is easy when love is involved. And then you also
Yes.
get to understand that apart from your career, like where you work, you also need to have another life, like a life outside work. You don't want to be
Okay.
someone who is a workaholic and working 24/7, but you also want to have some things that you get to do. So like
Outside.
stuff like for me it will be graphic designing and music. Those things they'll build up my what I would call social cycle well-being, if I can put it that way.
Okay.
Because if I'm always on work, my mind is always crammed about work. Work can be stressing sometimes, and you need to
Yeah.
to relax. And also, like I said, some of these things that help me excel are some of the tips I shared, like communicating with my supervisors when it comes to work, having my time management on point, dividing my schedules into chunks that I can swallow. I
Yes.
don't take bites that I can't swallow, so you have to divide it into chunks swallow. So all of those things, those are the strategies that will work together and at the end of the day help you to be effective and productive in what you're supposed to do. You see, don't ever approach your things as a whole. If let's say you have tasks
Yeah.
at work to do, break them down into milestones, into targets, and you work with them on them like that, and it will be easy for you see. And then
Yeah.
also you also have to maintain even like a healthy lifestyle. What you are eating, make sure you also eat, you're drinking your water, because like now if you
Yes.
have your
And
headaches,
exercising as well.
yeah, you have headaches now, they delay your progress because now you can't focus because you're feeling fine. And also resting is important. Sometimes you see we get too busy that we keep on focusing on this thing, and then you find out that, let's say if you're reading a book, you be on the for an entire 10 minutes. You realize you're not getting anything from that book. When you feel like that level of tiredness and fatigue, get time to rest. Go on your bed, sleep, get time to rest, get off whatever you're doing and get some time to rest. It will help you refresh your mind. Now, when you come back with a fresh mind and you'll be able to like attack your work as you should. So, those are some of the things. You just have to find strategies that work for you, then they build up together into making you effective and productive in everything that you do. Yeah.
Yes, no, that's very true. And one thing that's very evident is that, that positive mindset, all the tips, everything that you use in your life to ensure, like, the success, everything is well rounded and fulfilling, it starts from like the foundation, in university. Those same concepts of, having that positive mindset when you're studying, when you're writing your test, you still are able to apply those same things, at work with regards
Yeah.
to your
Remember,
work,
varsity
meeting.
varsity
It
is
links.
is 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 a mirror of the real world. So whatever you're
Yes,
doing,
yes.
day will be a reflection of what you're going to be doing in the work industry. So you better start now and making sure
Yeah.
that whatever you're doing right now, you're doing it the right way. When you get into the workspace and the corporate world, you'll not struggle, I'm telling you.
Yes, no, that's so wonderful. Thank you very much for all this insightful information. Thank you very much. I am personally encouraged. I have learned a lot. I realized I did make a few mistakes, when I was studying. I'm talking about lack of sleep. I didn't sleep, but we're always learning, we're always growing. So, what would your closing remarks be for someone who's also maybe looking to pursue a similar career field, or someone who's looking to have that well-roundedness in their life?
So for me, the number one thing is you have to believe in God.
Yeah, yes, I
Right.
agree.
You have
Yeah.
to have faith in God because our lives is centered on God. And then actually the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and
The
all shall
kingdom
be
of
added
God.
unto you. You cannot serve God or take care of God's business and bite your fingers. If you take care of his business, he will take care of your business
Everything.
as well. That's the first thing.
That's
So I
true.
would encourage you to develop a relationship with God, be a prayerful person, get your life in order with God, get born again if you're not, get saved and get to go to church, right? And then to
Yes.
come now to now someone want to be in this career that I am in, I would
Yeah.
say that if you are someone who wants to be a programmer, make sure that whatever you're learning in class, those are the fundamentals and they're important. Make sure you're paying close attention to them and make sure that you are grasping each and every tiny bit of thing, and also get your hands dirty, get involved in programming. There are hackathons and other things,
Yes.
avenues that help you improve your skill. Get into it, get online, look at what other people are doing, because programming, when it comes to the corporate world, it goes beyond the if statements that are in the book. Yes, the if statements are the
You
fundamentals,
need them,
but you need
yeah.
to learn how to solve the real world problem. So get your hands dirty if you're a programmer and want to be a programmer, and love what you're doing. Because if you don't love what you're doing, you cannot exist in this, you cannot survive rather in this what do you call it, in this career, right? So those are the tips for those that want to pursue this career. And then if you want to be someone who's well-rounded in life, do things that you love, do things that you enjoy, sit down with yourself, look at yourself, what is it that I like, what is it that I enjoy, and get to do those things. Because the moment you do things that you don't like, you're not going to enjoy it, and definitely it will frustrate you. So that's all my encouragement, and to say, be focused on your goals. For those that are in school, remember the reason why in school. For those that are at work, remember why you went to school and why did you get the job, right? And if you those remember those things, and remember, most important thing, remember where you're coming from. Your background will remind you where you're going and where you're targeting. And don't stop dreaming. Don't stop dreaming. There is
Yeah,
no
don't
dream that
limit
is,
yourself.
if
Yeah.
if it can come to yourself, then it means, if you can, actually they say, if you can perceive it, then you can conceive it. So make sure if you have a dream, write it down. Practice a culture of writing things down. It will help you a lot because you'll get to reference your goals, your milestones, and everything. And also cultivate a culture of reading and seeking knowledge and information. I was
Yeah.
one
You
person
never
that don't
stop
like
learning.
reading, but I would
Yeah.
learn through other channels, documentaries. Don't love movies and series that much that you don't get to equip yourself. Our world is moving very fast, and information is currency. Data is currency. So make sure you keep yourself with knowledge and information, because if you want to survive in this fast moving world, you need information. I think I've said a lot, so I'll end it here. I'll end it. Thank you so
No,
much.
that's so wonderful. That's so wonderful. I totally agree with you with regards to the reading. Oh, reading is just so beautiful. And just make sure you're also reading the right things. Sometimes we want to read, but we're not really reading the right books or the
Yeah,
right
you cannot
information.
read
So
gossip. You cannot read gossip
yes,
and
exactly, exactly. So yeah, just make sure you're reading the right things and staying focused, remembering where you're coming from, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to help you, get that future or get that present moment that you've always wanted to have. So thank you very
that's
much, Adie. It was so wonderful having you here on the very first episode of Graceful Realities.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here, and I hope to be back again. I hope
Yes,
you guys-
definitely. I think you can play a song for us on the guitar when you come back. Do a little intro for us.
Don't try that. The next time I come, I'll make sure that I bring the keys with me, the strings, right? Thank
Oh
you
no,
so
that's so lovely. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.
Same to you. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us on the very first episode of Graceful Realities. I hope you found it insightful and inspiring. Remember to put your faith to work and find a balance between working hard and playing hard. And no matter what you're going through, no matter the trial or tribulation, find joy and keep a positive mindset. As we head into the new month, I would like to take this opportunity to share the verse of the month, which is going to be Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 6. And it states, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." Stay tuned for more inspiring conversations on Graceful Realities. Remember to embrace life's grace always. Until next time, take care.